Welcome back. This is the Premier League preview show on Citi TV. My guests, Yao Frimpong and Emmanuel Nubo. We are looking ahead to the biggest game of the round. It is between Arsenal and Liverpool at the Emirates. So we've looked at Arsenal's previous performance or their previous match in the league, 2-1 at Nottingham Forest. Let's have a look at the season stats. Then we'll see the head-to-head, and then we'll listen to the two managers before I get to my in-studio guests. So let's have a look at the season stats. The season stats. 22 games both teams have played. The win numbers aren't too different. Liverpool have one more win. Arsenal have two less draws, but they've lost three more games. Liverpool 1 loss, Arsenal 4. Goal difference plus 23 for Arsenal and plus 32, mirror images, plus 32 for Liverpool. All right, let's have a look at the head-to-head. The head-to-head, there you have it. 63 games played between them. Arsenal 17 wins, Liverpool 25, and they've split 21 games. So Liverpool do have a very good record against Arsenal. They have 8 more wins. So they've drawn 21 times, and Liverpool have 8 more wins. Okie dokie. All right, let's hear from the managers who will be heavily involved over the weekend at the Emirates. Let's first hear from Jurgen Klopp, and then we'll hear from Mikel Arteta. Jurgen Klopp is Liverpool manager. Mikel Arteta is Arsenal manager. Let's hear from the two men. All right, so that was Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta. Before him, Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp. Imran, let me start off with you. And on a personal note, how did you take the news?
It was weird. it was last week Friday, right?
Yes.
So I had come for the AFCON shows. On my way back, something pops up. It's announced LFC TV on YouTube. Jurgen Klopp is leaving. I'm like, this guy.
Is this serious?
This is a joke. So I was expecting, as the interview went on, for it, I'm staying, I'm just joking, something like that. But it's actually true. So right now we call him Farewell Klopp. But personally, I'll miss him. And for me, 2 seasons ago, I was like, if he didn't win anything, you sack him. But now, looking back at that, I'm like, the thing is, if he leaves, who's coming?
I'm sure, yeah.
That's the main thing. If there was, like, let's see, not a like for like, but maybe someone of a certain caliber in waiting, then he'll feel some confidence, especially with how the team is set up now, judging from how bad it was last season. But looking at the options, personally, I'm not convinced.
Names have been mentioned. Xabi Alonso. He's the front runner.
But De Zerbi isn't a bad one.
Yeah, I've heard
in terms of energy, he has similar energy, but philosophy in terms of tactical philosophy.
You don't find. Look, you look at, for example, Sir Alex Ferguson. You can argue and say he molded Manchester United into his image. He turned the team to look like what he wanted. It was almost like Klopp and Liverpool were made for each other.
Yeah, the energy he brought to the club, the unity he brought to the fans. Like, fans really wanted to, and testament to everything he said, he's been true to it. He said that he wanted fans to always want to look forward to the next game. And that's the kind of Liverpool game. Yeah, it's going to be up and down. He's not going to give you those kind of dominating 4-0 wins like Pep does. He'll put a bit of scare in there just to keep the excitement up. And it's been great to watch him evolve. He came with metal football, then now he switched to a more technical midfield. Then there's a mix and
then
the balance in there.
Yeah.
So
they did heavy metal.
Like, you think he was born in Liverpool and he's been a fiber of the town and the club from day one. But it's beautiful to see such stories.
But I say that Liverpool, there's this thing I always say, and I'm sure you've seen me tweet about it, and I talk about the only club in world football that understands a certain occasion and they draw energy from it. And I think it's kind of set Liverpool up to go out there and die and win the league and kill themselves.
It's written on the wall. If Liverpool don't win the title, I'll be surprised. Yeah. He set it in motion. Sir Alex did this a couple of years ago, and then there was a U-turn.
Yeah.
You don't know. Maybe it's the same thing.
I don't think so. I mean, Klopp himself has said that. Look, 9 years of
you never know. You never know.
There could be
I'll love it if he finds a way and just stays. The energy he's brought to the club.
But he's the same person that says it doesn't matter what people think of you when you come in, and it matters what they think of you when you are leaving. If he had left last season, it would have been a dent on his legacy. Yeah. But with how he has set up the team now and Liverpool challenging on the Liverpool's already in a cup final. They are playing Chelsea. If the Chelsea that showed up 2 days ago is what shows up, that's one trophy in the bag. I think they are favourites to win the Europa League.
They are, I mean, now that...
Yes. The Premier League, they'll probably go neck and neck with City. So I think he leaves with 1 or 2 trophies. It's a nice way to usher yourself out and not be sacked like other managers.
But you do make a point about life post-Klopp. And I'm sure one of these days we'll discuss what next, because it's a very sensitive part, and Liverpool will need to handle that transition very, very, very well. Because there's this standard Klopp has said, new manager is coming against it. Anyway, but against that backdrop, Liverpool are going to Arsenal. They were there a few weeks ago. They won that game by 2-0. Of course, the context has changed. Arsenal will have more players back. But Emmanuel, from a Liverpool perspective, I'm sure they recognize that Arsenal will be a different team. But what's the approach? What's the plan? After disposing of Chelsea, Arsenal certainly will be tougher to break down than Chelsea.
I think Liverpool go into this game as favourites. If this game was played maybe 2 months ago, you say Arsenal will be favourites, seeing that they are being at home. Arsenal, yes, they've won their last 2 games, but they've not been that convincing. Even though they beat Crystal Palace 5-0. I mean, it was more Crystal Palace being woeful than Arsenal being excellent. And you look at the Nottingham Forest game. They could have drawn that game getting to the end. And yeah, you look at Nottingham Forest have about 5-6 players in the AFCON, and the chunk of their starting lineup wasn't there. And they made a struggle out of that match. So for Arsenal, I would say they are not in the greatest of form, and that should play to Liverpool's advantage. They don't even seem to miss Mo Salah, and it looks like, oh wow, have we already sold him to the Saudis? Because Liverpool have been excellent. You look at the number of goals the front 3, 4 have scored. Nunez, Gakpo, Diaz. I mean, Gakpo to a lesser degree, but you look at those 3 and the goals they've shipped in since Salah went to AFCON. He's now injured and he's not been available. They've been very good, and for me, I dare I say that Jota is actually a better finisher.
Yeah, lots of people have held that.
He's a better finisher
from when he was at Wolves.
Yeah, with the number of chances he gets and how he dispatches them, I think he's been a live wire to this team. Liverpool, I mean, outside Thiago, who we haven't seen since last year, May or so, they have a chunk of their team fit, so then it gives options. I wasn't happy about Klopp doing 4 wholesale changes. I think that's what caused Chelsea to even score, because you have 4 people coming into a team, they're about to settle in, and Chelsea were on the up, and then they got to score. So I don't suggest he does that. But then we have to talk about Conor Bradley.
Yeah, I was about to ask. I mean, does he get another crack at it at Arsenal?
For me, he does. He's in a great vein of form. I think he has 5 assists also in his last 3 games.
He has a goal.
He seems to know how to handle Martinelli as he should. But I think he's been a breath of fresh air, because Liverpool themselves, pundits have been thinking, maybe we move Trent to midfield.
Yeah, I was about to ask, does it now, I won't say force Klopp's hand, does it now give Klopp the leeway to attempt?
I think it does.
Experiment.
I think it does to an extent, but for me, I'll probably go with the same lineup that started against Chelsea.
Okay.
Put the players
Robertson and Trent on the bench.
Yeah, Trent on the bench. You can bring him in like he did in the FA Cup, where he moved him into midfield if need be. Because for us now, yes, there's spaces to exploit, especially with Ben White and Zinchenko on the other side. You have Nunez in there. You have Szoboszlai is back now. He can double up on whoever is on either side. You have Curtis Jones, who's been very good. I think from the end of last season, where he started playing that forward role, he scored some goals against Leicester. He's been really good. He seems to have a level head now. Those times you take 3-4 touches, but now he's more like a catalyst. Anytime something good is going to go forward or a breaking play is going to come, he's involved in anything that's happening. So for Liverpool, just stay true to them stuff. Start the game well. Don't go and concede like you did last season. I think it was 3 minutes or so in where Martinelli scored that goal. No. Go in there, impose your will. Don't start like you started the FA Cup game too, because if Arsenal were more clinical, they should have been down with Liverpool in the first half. So I think the same starting lineup, we go with the same intensity. Darwin Nunez should start scoring.
Nunez should start scoring.
We're talking about this like off the screen. He's just flying his foot through everything. There's no calmness to anything he's doing. And
I
do
guess,
think
I guess it's the eagerness to score, right? Yeah.
but
It's
chill,
power.
man.
He's just got so much power. He has to use it.
Like even in his like the headers are more like shots. I mean if he does take his time and gets a cool head and becomes more of a finisher than
I
just
guess,
a striker.
Well, I guess at this point, I think this is where coaching comes in. You need somebody to work on those things and sharpen the blunt edges, because he does have the energy.
Yeah, and he gets into spaces, he gets chances.
Good positions. You look at the Bournemouth game a couple of weeks ago, and he was probably one of the best players on the day. He's one of those players, but he needs consistency for the good days. He needs more good days.
Yeah.
Because he's involved in good stuff, but the end or the outputs is not always good. But he has something about him that if Klopp can just, like a parting gift to Liverpool, work on him, make him like Suarez, and Liverpool probably
Leaves
will.
Liverpool with another Uruguayan goal scorer.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at the other side. Arsenal, they've not looked too convincing in the last few weeks. Like Emmanuel said, they beat Palace, but in the last few months, people have looked at Arsenal and wondered what has gone wrong. Now, today or this weekend is another test. They have to face Liverpool. Can they get something? Can they play out a performance?
Arsenal have a tendency to start games well. They start well with so much energy. If they convert their chances, you find yourself chasing the game. And like Emmanuel said, in the FA Cup, they started well. Convert chances is a different story. Against Nottingham Forest, they start well, create chances. They're not clinical. It took some luck for Gabi Jesus to score. But I'm more concerned about their midfield. Partey's absence, I love him as a right back, but people say he should play in the middle. But my concern is that he's in the middle. You've got Rice. Declan Rice will win you the balls. He can progress the ball, but he's not got people to play with. Odegaard isn't going to help him all the time. He can pick the ball off him and run with it, but then who else is there? The option is Emil Smith-Rowe. He's been out for a while. He came back, looked very bad against Nottingham Forest. Fabio Vieira just came back from an injury as well. Then there's Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz has the tendency or the ability to do special things for Arsenal, but I don't think in the midfield is where he needs to be. If there was a way, Arsenal could probably just sacrifice the 4-3-3 and play maybe a 4-2-3-1 and play Kai Havertz further up, where he doesn't have to do so much defensive work. Because when he was at Chelsea, he was probably one of the best pressers for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Turn over the ball in high up the pitch, turn it into a counter-attack, and Chelsea score goals. That's what Arsenal need to explore. On the left-hand side, Martinelli, I think, is a bright spark. He loves playing against Liverpool, and because he usually has Trent to play against, there are opportunities to exploit there. But Conor Bradley will present something different, and they need to work around that. But if they start the way they ended the game against Nottingham Forest, with Kai Havertz on a bit closer to Gabi Jesus, with Zinchenko, I don't think he needs to invert every time. But
he seems to be a player who kind of divides opinion amongst Arsenal fans.
He's a good footballer.
Yeah.
For Ukraine, you watch him in the middle, you wouldn't know he plays left back. He's good. However, he's not a left back. But when you want to play him as a left back, you really need to be specific with the instructions. He doesn't need to tuck in and join the midfielder all the time. Same with Ben White. Arsenal, that's why I'm more a big fan of Thomas Partey being available so that he could play on the right-hand side and then support Declan Rice. Because Declan Rice, he does a good job. I mean, Arsenal's big games this season, he's come through for them, goes from nowhere. But then they need someone else to share the burden with him in the middle. And on the right-hand side, Saka has also been out of form.
Yeah.
He's just rediscovering a goal-scoring touch, but it's not enough to threaten Liverpool. Although Joe Gomez will offer a lot of opportunities for Saka to exploit. But this is a game where Andy Robertson should be starting.
Okay.
Because
You wouldn't have him on the bench.
No, you start him because you want to neutralize Saka. If it's against Joe Gomez, Arsenal will get a bit comfortable and confident that they could do something in the wide areas. But down the middle, everything in the air, I'm certain Konate and Van Dijk will be able to deal with. So Arsenal's game, this is not a game that I'm looking at them winning. A draw might be their best result, but something special or a change in their tactical approach could give them something more. But Liverpool seem to be on the rise and have the upper hand in this fixture.
Okay, we'll see how that game plays out. Of course, there's live commentary of that one on Citi 97.3 FM over the weekend. It's Arsenal versus Liverpool. Big game Sunday at 4:30 p.m. All right.